The reaction to all this Game Pass news has been really, really cool to see, but there's one reaction that I've seen to Outriders coming to Game Pass that some people are unhappy about. Let's talk about what that is right now. So Xbox has just been absolutely knocking it out of the park. You know, there's a bunch of exclusives coming to Game Pass, and recently they announced that Outriders would be day one on Game Pass, specifically for cloud and console. So, as you know, Game Pass is available on PC and it's available on console. And a lot of the PC players are feeling a little bit let down by the fact that, this particular game was not made available. So, I wanted to talk about why that is, and it's probably obvious to some of us, but maybe some PC players just aren't aware. They feel like they're not getting the same value that the console player base is getting with Game Pass. And if they feel that way, I always say vote with your wallet. Don't use the service, and you can have it just on console for $9.99. Regardless, the main reason I would have to imagine that this is happening is this is likely due to prior agreements with Steam, Epic Games, etc., where they just said, hey, look, we're not going to be able to do that for these other platforms, but sure, we can make it available on Game Pass day one for free. Now, Outriders is the first in a series of MMOs that have been hitting Game Pass, including, Fallout 76 with the Bethesda merger, Elder Scrolls Online, and I think I saw some other MMO RPG type game, like Remnant from the Ashes is on there. It would be a good example of sort of something sort of in the same vein as Outriders. Outriders has a lot of attention right now because it's really, really filling this niche. And I was surprised by the negative reaction from PC players. I understand the disappointment. Like if you were hoping to get it for cheaper than $60, then I mean you'll have to play on console. So the value is still retained there for Game Pass owners on console. But I get where you're coming from if you're playing on PC, but it's negative. The other part that sort of confused me was some people are saying like, well, yeah, but it's going to leave Game Pass someday. And we were talking about this on Unlocked, the IGN Xbox show that I'm on, and Ryan pointed out that, yeah, but you just buy it at a discount. So playing Outriders on Xbox, like if you want to get games for cheap, if Outriders is the game that you've been looking forward to, you can start your Game Pass subscription for $1 a month. You can play Outriders for a month non-stop, and then you can cancel your membership if that's what you choose to do. And you have paid $1 to play the game. You could even buy Outriders before it goes out of Game Pass and still get it at a discount. So it's just an odd criticism. It's like people are trying to poke holes in why Game Pass is so great. And I'm going to have a video coming out very soon where I sort of talk about why Game Pass is so important and valuable, not only to developers, but to like families and stuff. But that's going to be further down the line. So it's just weird to see people sort of nervous about games and how they're working on Game Pass. So I wanted to talk about it really, really quick. The discount for Game Pass games, I just Googled it really quick, is 20% on select games in the Game Pass library, plus up to 10% off related game add-ons. So my reaction to the whole Outriders thing is it's great. Outriders is going to be one of those games where you can sort of take your save anywhere. So if it ends up being cheap on Steam further down the line and you want to play on PC, you've already sort of got your foot in the door for dirt cheap on Xbox. Or if you're an Xbox main, like it's a no-brainer. Just play the game. I don't think there's anything really competing with it. But this also brings to the forefront of my mind that Xbox is becoming a really, really good place to play MMOs because things are on Game Pass. You can often just play MMOs like Fallout 76 on there and you have access to all the content. Destiny 2, where there's like, okay, everything's on Game Pass, enjoy, or it comes to Game Pass very shortly after. It's a very, very smart way to play games like this that have these constant updates, and you're not going to be left that far behind from other people. There were some other things with Game Pass I just want to touch on really quick, including FPS boost was added to select Bethesda games like Elder Scrolls V, Fallout 76, Dishonored Definitive Edition, etc. So those games are running at 60 frames per second. There was a new headset. The headset thing, like the headset looks cool, but I didn't consider that like, oh, that's not a megaton thing. All this Game Pass stuff what has been the topic of conversation over the last few days. So some of the new games that were added to Game Pass, like this was more pressing and interesting to me. Games included Undertale, Outriders, Yakuza 6, Star Wars Squadrons, Octopath Traveler, Torchlight 3. Those are just a few that jumped out with me, but there were even more than that. Those are like huge franchises that are being announced alongside this Outriders announcement. And yeah, just wow. It has been quite a week for Xbox fans. And it's been really, really interesting because you can follow trends on Twitter. Like I follow Xbox and I follow PlayStation. And oftentimes the PlayStation, trolls are throwing a lot of shade at Xbox. And, it goes both ways. Xbox does the same thing. And, it's whatever. I'll just say this. The PlayStation Hub's been awfully quiet lately. And it's been kind of like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So you're a little quieter now that this whole Bethesda merger thing happened. And honestly, that's it's kind of a good thing because I think PlayStation gamers are recognizing that, oh, hey, Xbox is here to play. All right, well, I still got my games on my PlayStation, but I'm actually going to consider going over to Xbox. SkillUp actually tweeted about the Game Pass thing, and check this out. One of the comments from just one of the people who follows SkillUp said, "I'm literally starting to consider getting an Xbox because of Game Pass." And then somebody else said, "Sony, please make PS Now anywhere close to as good as this. The lineup is so good." And then, here's one of the comments that made me talk about the topic at the beginning of the show. "I like owning my games, so no thanks." And then it's like, Game Pass games tend to get a discount while on Game Pass, so you can subscribe. And honestly, like if you're playing new releases, you're gonna play through those in a week or two, and you're gonna be totally fine. But yeah, so that was sort of like the confusing reaction to Outriders and my reaction to the news and the internet's reaction. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it because it's all been really, really interesting over the last few days. And yeah. Still really excited. I'm really glad to see that other people are also excited about, everything that's been going on in the industry lately, especially with Xbox. And man, is another major story going to break tomorrow that I'm going to have to make a video about? Let's do it. Let's go. Hey, some of you noticed that I did turn on memberships for the YouTube channel. Totally optional. I record these really late at night. It's 11:50 at night right now. And you'll see the other videos because I recorded a few now where I'm talking about this and I'm like, oh, it's 11:45 at night. But yeah, so I turned that on. It's optional. I think what one of the perks that I'm going to add is just like I'm just going to allow these to be viewed on the membership thing, but the YouTube algorithm, as you'll hear me explain over the next few days, encourages you to post around 7 a.m. So they'll just go live for everybody at 7. But thank you to those of you who jumped on memberships, and just generally, man, I would love to hit 100,000 subscribers in 2021. So that's the goal I've set for this channel. Can we get me that silver button? Can we get me to 100,000 subscribers? I'm humbled by the outpouring of support and just how many people have subscribed over the last few days. I just look at the back end and I can't believe it's happening. So thank you, everybody. I really, really appreciate your kindness in the comments. I really, really, I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. Thank you. You have no idea how much this means. And it's just cool to have a place to talk to people about games. So that's it for me. I'm Destin signing off, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.